Greetings all and welcome back to our series of videos from Belgium. Now up until now we'd be speaking with Will Testard about the history of the Belgian armed forces, most recently in Bastogne Barracks, because that's where a lot of the World War II kit is. But what about the barracks itself, which has its own unique history? Well, to show us around what's going on there now, we have Commandant Serge Sorby, who is the CO of the barracks, still an official base. And, well, he's going to take us around and show us what's what.
Greetings all! It is a lovely grey Ardennes sort of day here in the autumn. I am at the Bastogne Barracks. With me is Mr. Serge Sorby, who runs the place, because this is actually still technically a military installation. So, Serge, we are standing in front of McAuliffe's headquarters, but let's start at the beginning of the barracks history. When was this built?
So the buildings here have been built in the mid-30s, and the first name of the barracks here was Quartier Sous-Lieutenant Heinz, from a hero of the First World War. And so the barracks was built for the Belgian army, for the Chasseurs Ardennais. And it has been run by the Belgian army, of course, until 1940, when, of course, the city of Bastogne and all Belgium was taken by the Germans.
So it stayed as a German barracks, and then after the Germans were kicked out by the Allies, the 101st Airborne came here.
Yes, exactly. So during the war, from 1940 till September 44, it was a German barracks, and especially an Hitlerjugend training center.
Okay.
And in September, when the Allies arrived, it became the US headquarters. And during the Battle of the Bulge, you know that the Germans started their offensive on the 16th December. The Allied commander has 1 or 2 days to realize that it was an important attack, and so they sent the 101st Airborne to Bastogne, and the General McAuliffe installed his headquarters here in this building, especially in the cellar of this building.
And he picked it because it was already a barracks then, I'm guessing.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know where the other command headquarters? So people always talk about the 101st, but there's also 10th Armored. I mean, you go downtown and there's a Sherman tank from 10th Armored.
Yeah.
Do you know where their headquarters were?
The headquarters was also here. So Middleton was here before McAuliffe. So between September and December, the General Middleton was here, and it was the general headquarters for the area. But after that, Middleton moved his headquarters to another place in Belgium, and so McAuliffe took the lead here really during the Bulge.
Okay, so we'll probably come back to the Bulge battle at some future point. What happened after the war? So the Belgian army just took it over again and it continued in service?
Yes, exactly. So after the war, 1946, the Belgian army came back here in the barracks, and it became again a Belgian army barracks with several units, and the last unit was operation here until 2010, and it was the first of artillery.
Okay.
And in 2010, the defense decided to dismantle this artillery unit, and so part of the people have been moved to other barracks or other units in Belgium, and some people stayed here because it became the storage place for the military vehicle of the Royal Military Museum of Brussels.
So the people who are running Bastogne Barracks, as it currently is today, it's not a military base, but it is still run by the military.
This is still a military area, not exactly here, but the other place where we will go in a few minutes is still a military area. Full of military, so we do not have civilian there. We are all military, and but it became first a storage place for vehicles, and slowly, year after year, the people started to renovate vehicles to the situation now where this is, I would say, a great museum.
So the buildings that we're standing in front of, these all red brick, these are the original 1920s?
Yes, those are the original buildings of pre-Second World War, buildings starting in the 20s and in the 30s, but those are the original buildings, yes.
A bit of history. I mean, you know, we're standing right in here, and 80 years ago, McAuliffe was standing right here.
McAuliffe was working here in 44, Patton 2.
Right. So when you're always thinking, what was the room that he was in, and where was he standing when he said nuts? Here, or just down these staircases.
Just in the
It's
cellar
locked. We're not
there.
let in right now. But
And actually, this building is under renovation. It will become again a museum, but of course, this is not exactly finished. But in a few months, it will be finished, and of course, it's not open for the moment.
All right, so don't be in a hurry to come here for Christmas or anything. So
No, it will not be open for Christmas here, but our museum there will be fully open.
right, you have a Bastogne Day or a Battle
Yes,
of Nuts Day. Sorry, you call it Nuts Day.
Nuts Day or Nuts Weekend. This year it will be on the 16th and 17th December.
Okay.
And we have full activities with our vehicles, Sherman tanks running, German tanks, Russian tanks from the World War II running, and a lot of reenactors, exhibitions, full activity.
You also do another event. It was Tanks in Town. Is that it?
Yes, Tanks in Town was a few weeks ago. It was at the end of August in another city, Mons.
Oh, okay.
And we participated there with 5 or 6 vehicles and with our famous first in Bastogne Sherman tank.
Your jumbo. A couple of years ago, you had an M1 Abrams, you had a Bradley.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
What was that event?
It was at I was not there already, but I came, I would say, as a visitor,
Yeah.
and it was a quite impressive event. It was the 75th birthday of the Battle of the Bulge, and yes, exactly, the Abraham tanks was there on the parade ground.
So the next one, the 80th birthday will be next year. You have a big plan for that?
Yes, we have some secret plans for the 80 years birthday of the Battle of the Bulge with much more great activities inside our barracks, but also outside. Already every year we do a big défilé in the main street of Bastogne with our tanks.
Okay. So we want to book ahead. Start booking your airplane tickets for the second weekend of December 2024. Correct?
Yes, and try to book the hotels because this is probably more difficult than booking the airplanes here in Bastogne.
It's still a small town. I mean, when you get a deluge of your tourists, I presume, are mainly American. Is that true?
Yes, I would say that when I walk down the street here in Bastogne, this is very seldom that I don't hear American speaking. Yes, this is, and we like that.
Yeah.
You are always welcome.
Fantastic. Okay, well, let's take a little more of a tour around the barracks, and let's see what you can see when you come here.
Okay, let's go.
Serge was, of course, entirely hospitable and showed us what he could. Unfortunately, a lot of the facility is closed for renovation, or indeed has been disposed of. So in the meantime, watch out for a couple of other videos which are going to come out, short ones, about parts of the barracks as it currently stands. But for now, let's go see what they've done to the museum.
So as visitors come here, they come along the main gate and you're going to see the 2 exhibition halls. So what do we have?
So here we are in the new Bastogne Barracks, so the Bastogne Barracks Tank Museum, where we have the Vehicle Restoration Center that we will see in a few minutes, and our 2 exhibition halls. One is Battle of the Bulge Hall, and the other one is Mechanized Warfare during World War II Hall.
All right, let's have a look. Well, this is all very nice and modern, and you say this is just recently renovated.
Yes, it has been inaugurated last year.
Okay.
So this is open since 1 year, and so the museology is also quite modern, quite, I would not say empty, but épuré. I don't know how you say that in English, but...
We'll put up a subtitle,
yeah.
Even my French to get beyond that one.
And so here we have a selection of Battle of the Bulge vehicles, Americans and Germans.
And this is done by the army, this is done by soldiers?
Yes, exactly. So this is the soldiers and the personnel of Bastogne Barracks. So the mechanics, the guides, even the support and administrative people who have done all the renovation of the infrastructure. So isolation of the roof, painting of the wall, painting of the ground, cleaning of the ground. So they have done all, I would say, the manual work, the infrastructure work, and our historian from the Royal Military Museum in Brussels made the scenography.
Okay, so the vehicles, I see you have a VR headset thing there, virtual reality. Oh, that's for what it's like inside the vehicle.
Yeah, this is, you can experience there a few minutes in a tank, in a Sherman tank.
That's a pretty good idea. All right, so these pictures were presumably all local as well?
Yes, so those are all pictures, of course, of the Battle of the Bulge. Not necessarily taken in the area of Bastogne, but most of them, yes. Because, as you know, Battle of the Bulge is well known in Bastogne, but a little bit more in the north of the Ardennes, in the area of Stavelot, where the 82nd Airborne was. The fight has been even harder and stronger than around Bastogne.
Yeah, like you also got Saint-Vith and...
Saint-Vith, the valley of the Amblève and the valley of the Salme, the 82nd Airborne has to fight against Piper.
Yeah,
was
7th Armoured had a tough fight as well. Let's see, so Jeep, big half-track, 7/2. The Egg Panther is the original, or is that a Swiss one? Do you know?
It's a Swiss one, and which has been renovated with another engine.
So these vehicles, are they restored?
Yes, I would say that here all vehicle has been running, and some could run just starting, like the first in Bastogne.
Yeah.
We ran with it a few weeks ago, and the other one they just have to get some fine tuning, and they are able to run.
Even the Panzer?
Not this one.
Oh.
Unfortunately not. But maybe in our project we could make it running.
All right, so this is hall number 2. I mean, I see an SU-152 here. It's kind of like not very Battle of the Bulge. So what's this hall?
No, this is no more Battle of the Bulge. This is what we call now the mechanized warfare hall. So covering all World War II in a chronology timing, and presenting American, Russian, French armored vehicles or trucks. Also freshly renovated by the people of Bastogne Barracks, and it was the opening was just on the 14th of September.
Oh, so we really are brand new here.
Yes, so you are one of the first to be here.
So if you were here more than a month and a half ago, you got to come back, see the new hall.
Yes.
So again, most of these things will run? Most of these vehicles will run?
Yes, also. Here we have in total in Bastogne Barracks, we have more or less 100 vehicles, and 80% of the vehicles are able to run. For example, this was running in Soesterberg, so in the Netherlands, 2 months ago. So we just have to start.
Do you get a lot of volunteers to come here from the other parts of the Belgian army, or?
We have on every Saturday we have volunteers coming to work in the renovation hall. We don't have a lot. We would like to have more, but yes, we have some volunteers. We gave project. In a few weeks we will get back German vehicles, and the volunteers will work on this during months to renovate it.
So the soldiers who are assigned here by the Ministry of Defence,
yes.
Is there a lot of competition for that? Or is it just you will be assigned, you will go to this base, you're going to Bastogne?
No, most of the people who are here are people who were at the 1st of Artillery in
the last unit that was here.
In the last unit, so they decided for personal reason, because they live here in the area, to stay here. And of course now we try to have younger guys, younger mechanics to go further.
And so in order to get all this to work, to do the reparation, you have a mechanic shop?
Yes, we will see that in a few minutes. We have a mechanic shop with mechanicians who are busy on the vehicles. And we receive also vehicles, for example, for the moment we have a Sherman coming from Luxembourg, from the city of Clairvaux.
Okay.
They ask us to renovate it for them.
Oh, okay. And are you charging them for this? Or?
Yes, of course, because it's costing a lot.
Where do you get your parts? Do you, the new parts that you need, do you make them yourselves? Or?
Depending on the request of those people, in this case of the German, this is just an external renovation. So dismantling all the parts of the tank, sending all the parts, sending the tank and repainting and rebuilding, remounting all the parts of the Sherman so that it's looking, I would say, brand new.
All right, well, let's see what else you got in here then.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of these things scattered around. Are they observation posts or are they shelter for artillery, or what are these?
Those are just observation posts for infantrymen or defending. In 1940 there was quite a lot of fortification, mostly in the area of Liège, so close to the German border. And for example also this gate that you see at the back. I don't know if you know this gate. This is what we call Cointet gate. So Cointet was the name of the general who invented that. And it was a gate against the tanks.
Okay.
And there was a lot of those gates on the roads in 1940, but it could not resist a lot against the German tanks.
Fret not, dear viewers, for there are a number of videos to come out yet from Bastogne Barracks on the various vehicles here. Now, some of these are going to be long form videos, some are going to be short form. Keep an eye out on the channel. But if we put them all into this one video here, it will be incredibly long. So we decided to split them up. In the meantime, we're going to relocate ourselves to the maintenance shops.
Well, this does not look like a World War II maintenance facility.
No, no. This is actually the maintenance hall of the 1st Artillery. So this is where they were doing the maintenance on the artillery vehicle until 2010. At this moment, like I said previously, it became a storage place for the vehicle of the Royal Military Museum. And slowly the guys started to renovate some vehicles, and slowly it became the restoration center.
So is it basic maintenance you do here, or are you capable of doing a complete tear down and renovation from the bottom?
For the moment we are more with the basic maintenance, but some vehicles that you have seen, like the first in Bastogne, has been totally renovated because they were fully roosted, a little bit like the one you can see there.
Yeah. How many mechanics or how many personnel do you have?
We have between specialist mechanics between 10 and 15.
That's quite a lot for a World War II museum. I mean, I think a lot of museums would be very happy to have that many.
Unfortunately, the average of the age is quite high, so we look now for younger guys, what is not always easy inside the army. So we have a little bit human resource challenge.
Yeah. Well, on the other hand, the older guys probably know how these work.
Yes, but this is also a problem because they have the knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, this is a little bit, they are all MacGyvers.
Yeah.
Sometimes
they just come up with an inventive solution right there.
Yes, we do not have always the original spare parts.
Yeah.
So sometimes they have really to build a part to make the engine running or to renovate a vehicle. And so this knowledge is going away when the people are retired. So this is also my job to solve this personal resource problem, to try to attract some younger and to have this transmission of knowledge.
So what sort of things you got going on right now? So I see a Bergpanzer, I see a Patton 47. I mean, what sort of work is going on with this? Oh, the engine's out on that.
Yeah, so the Bergpanzer is really our most important tool here.
Okay, I can see why.
Because we use it for the moment. We are in a process also, like you can see, of making empty some holes or to solve, to sort things. So we use the Bergpanzer for nearly everything.
Right.
And for the moment, this is the maintenance of the engine. So they took out the engine that you can see there, and they are just busy to do the maintenance.
You still have all the spare parts for the Leopard in the inventory?
Yes.
You didn't sell them when you sold the Leopard tank?
Yes, the Leopard has been sold, but
Yeah.
we still have some spare parts.
Okay.
Enough to do the job here for this Bergpanzer.
Right, and the pattern?
The pattern is there because we have a problem of fuel, I think. Honestly, I don't know exactly what they are doing on this for the moment, because it's just here since 2 days.
Oh, okay.
But what I know is that we had a problem of the leaking of the tanks. So they probably try to solve this for the moment.
Fair. Okay, so we have some wonderful Belgian weather coming here. Of course, it wasn't really supposed to be raining today, but I mean, I guess this is typical for around here, right? I mean, if you're coming in from, oh, let's say we're coming in from Central Texas where it's nice and warm, you want to bring a jacket.
I would say that you are really unlucky because summer has been very sunny, and until a few days ago it was really sunny here with a good temperature. It was still possible to go in the garden swimming pool. So you are really on a rainy day, but it's not like that every day.
Well, if you were to come here for Nuts Day, for example, I mean, how much clothes do I want to be like in Alaska, or what are we looking at
Of course, you are in the Ardennes.
Yeah.
You are, I would say, high in Belgium.
Yeah.
And this is one of the coldest places in Belgium. So if you come at the Nuts weekend, you could have -10 or sometimes -15 degrees. But in the last year, it was more around 0 degrees.
Well, coming from San Antonio, -15 is, and that's Celsius, by the way, is pretty damn cold. All right. So
we are quite used here.
Yeah, I'm not.
I can understand that.
Okay, right. I think we've about covered the tour, so I thank you very much for your time. And now we're going to go off and do a little bit more filming of some of the specific vehicles that they have here in this collection. So again, Serge, commander of the facility here, thank you, and well, I hope you found the tour interesting and informative, and I'll talk to you soon.
Right, that was Bastogne Barracks, and I will warn you because we made the same mistake. When you go there, there's more than one military museum in Bastogne for some reason. So go to the Bastogne Barracks. They have a Battle of the Bulge museum as well, and there's a third museum. That's not the one that we went to, at least not that we filmed at. All right, so after that, well, we're going to go back to Belgian army history and speak on the Cold War and Belgium's history there. Right, till then, as I say, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I know everybody always says it, but it actually does work, usually. And I'll talk to you on the next one.
Now, to be sure, they're not claiming this is actually Cobra King. That can be found at the Museum of the U.S. Army in Virginia. Just by sheer chance, they happen to find the actual thing, they're able to identify it. But they have one of the very few jumbos that are left. I think there's only 7 in the world. This is the only one in Europe that runs, and so they've marked it up accordingly, as would be appropriate for a vehicle to be found in Bastogne.